Well, good evening, everyone. Mr. Miss America and all the ships at sea. It is I, Dennis, today only. Fluno is on assignment. He is going out and seeing that great world. Hopefully, we'll have some interesting stories. I think he even took a train. Yeah. So this has been a very interesting week. If you're a car guy, not so much as an old one, though there is some stuff with that that's not so great either. But right now, it's gotten very weird. I Hi Tony Imperial, how you doing? Uh, I it's been hotter than hell down here, so thankfully the air conditioning is working okay in my garage. It hit 100 today, everybody. Just to let you all know how absolutely painful it is here. I did take charger out on Saturday night, ran wonderful, and so we had fun. But now I got to start. Let's see. Oh God, you're gonna watch the World Cup, really? Okay, watch the replay. Watch it twice. All right, so I'm going to start off with something because politicians can't help themselves from doing stuff that's really stupid. And this is something I'm just going to do this first because this is so friggin' important. We need to actually do something about it. The Trump to ask Congress to make 15% ethanol gas blend permanent. The Trump administration intends to ask Congress to allow E15 and ethanol gas blend to be sold at pumps year-round. The 50% ethanol blend is usually only available in part of the year under a waiver from the EPA as temperatures rise. What the hell? Oh, stupid. It actually evaporates faster. Yeah, so to lower 10% ethanol blend is sold all year, but the 50% blend is subject to waivers because it gets higher ethanol content, evaporates more quickly in hot weather, and contributes to higher level of air pollution or smog. Yeah. Yeah. So the move to make E15 available year-round represents the White House's latest effort to tame gas prices. And they have risen because of a war we started with Iran. President Trump repeatedly said the campaign trail that he's supposed to make. No, actually, during his trail, the campaign, he said he was going to get rid of ethanol. That was part of the thing. Oh, well. Everything lies. Lawmakers from corn-growing states and other proponents of E15 argue that the blend gives drivers a cheaper option in pump gas and creates rural jobs. E15 prices are generally 25 cents per gallon lower than regular gas, according to Renewable Fuel Association. I don't see that, as E15 can collectively save over $20 billion in fuel costs. So this article basically is talking about the most evil thing ever, which is E15. E15 is 50% worse than E10. E10 is basically enough ethanol to destroy all the aluminum in your and all your hoses in your fuel system. E15 will absolutely annihilate it. And this isn't just about classic cars. This is about, newer cars that are, people are using. I don't like that. Something that's like from 2000 or the 90s or, that really have not designed for a flexible fuel. The later cars, everything after 2012, allegedly the automakers are making it so that your car can burn it and not like annihilate it itself. But it still attracts water. It does a lot of bad things with to your fuel tank. Even in a modern car, if you have a metal fuel tank, it will absolutely savage it. It savages all the metal in there because it brings water to the equation, which is a very bad thing. And it's really terrible kind of stuff. So, I mean, of course, I'm going to ask you to, because I'm going to do this, contact your congressman and tell him it's a really dumb idea. Because, ethanol, not only is it bad for cars, but it's also bad for the environment, being that we're taking food and we're now using it as fuel when we have plenty of fuel to burn instead of the food. Plus, it takes gas to actually make ethanol because you have to heat You have to heat corn to actually do the distilling of it. And then and then you have to transport it in trucks because it can't be set in pipelines because it absorbs water. Hence, using diesel to move ethanol, because most gasoline in the United States long distance is sent through pipelines, except for this stuff. It has to be sent by truck. So it is literally one of the worst, and I mean this, one of the worst things that's ever been hammered on us. In as car owners. I mean, honest to God, there is no rationale thought behind this. I mean, people point to Brazil because they use ethanol. Yeah, but they use sugarcane. And sugarcane is a grass, and it grows wild. I mean, it literally just grows wild. We're talking corn where you have to go and you have to use, as we found out, petroleum stuff, related products to help the corn grow, because we noticed the price of fertilizer went up. And then you have to use all this diesel and whatnot to grow, to actually to do all this stuff on the farm to make the corn grow. Then you have to use diesel to harvest the corn. And then you have to go all these other things. It is a terrible thing. It needs to go away. And honestly, you lose on 10%. I've calculated I'm losing somewhere between 15 to 20%, which this would mean it would be somewhere between 20 to 30%. Because it is literally that high. It literally is that high of a degradation in your fuel economy, because it burns fast and it burns hot. It also annihilates spark plugs. It gets really, really hot like that. So there's that. Yeah. Let's baby the farmers some more. Yeah, I know. This is where we are, though. I mean, it literally, their job should just be able to make food for us. They shouldn't need to have some sort of government subsidy to make a fuel that really isn't useful. But then again, this may relate to something I'm going to talk about a little bit later. The little fires they're having at salvage yards that are making so older cars can't be restored or kept on the road. Kind of strange. It all kind of works out, doesn't it? I won't even put on a tinfoil hat. This is straight out there, man. You just have to connect like two dots and you go, Because nobody's talking about First Brands yet. First Brands, and actually that bankruptcy is being dragged. That's why I don't really have a news report on it right now, because we just don't have any news. Nothing is happening. They're dragging their feet on the bankruptcy itself. The criminal case hasn't started, so there's no news on First Brands. All I know is that from last week, we've talked about one of the creditors. They can't use any of the money they're making from selling product to help pay themselves back. And so if you're a creditor, what do you do at that point? Because it costs money to make, to sell product. And it's so weird. Well, to diesel, we can't go to diesel because we don't have enough refineries. That's why diesel's so expensive. We actually cut the refining process for diesel massively to and switched it, whatever capacity it was, we switched it to jet fuel and I think heating oil. And it's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. So that is I don't want to start on a hard thing, but this ethanol thing, we really, as car guys, really need to tell them to go stick it, because it is bad. I mean, I just did a video on fuel a couple weeks ago, and that was a real thermoquad in my hand that was annihilated because ethanol sat in the bowls, and it absolutely just rusted piss out of it. I have absolutely seen the inside of tanks that look like the Luray Caverns. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really terrible. It's totally terrible stuff. So there's some more smart thinking from our government. So, but I'm going to, of course, pepper in some good news, because I think this is good news. I do. I think this is good news. This is actually really cool. And I honestly, I would like to see these things. U.S. startup wants to sell you a 21,500 Amerikey pickup with a manual. I am all for this. I swear I am all for. I'd buy one. I mean, seriously, 21 grand. If it's heavily reliable, It's fine. Hey, look, it's an REO Speedwagon. Slate, which makes an appliance, is the only American outfit chasing the idea of small, cheap pickup truck. A startup called REO Industries wants a slice of the U.S. market that no one else is fighting for, and it plans runs on 2 pickups and an SUV, drawing on Japan's iconic Kei cars, albeit scaled up to American taste. Hopefully not scaled up too big. Hopefully it's not like Big Mac sized. The REO badge first appeared on cars back in 1905, and actually that's where the band REO Speedwagon comes from, because that's what they called them, the REO Speedwagons. Hey, Jamie Cotton, how you doing? Though the original company folded a few decades later, Texas real estate agent Zach De Bernardi tracked down the rights to the name and built REO Industries around it. He has never manufactured a car in his life. This doesn't sound good. This is just getting worse. But he keeps a sizable collection, heavy on classic Toyotas. And it's the Toyota DNA that he wants running through everything wearing the REO badge. Hey, that ain't so bad. 3 models, 3 price points. The company said it has 3 models in the works, named the Runabout T4X, the Runabout T4C, and the Runabout S4C. You really need to work on these names, guy. These are bad names. The base T4X is being targeted to start at $21,500, and the T4C to $25,000, and the SUV $28,500. Okay. Like the new truck from Slate, REO's Runabout models will be simple, hence the affordable price points. They'll also have they'll be small. In fact, the T4X is just 180 inches long, which is the size of my E30. Seriously, my 1989 BMW is 180 inches long. And that was considered actually a large compact back in the 80s. I mean, that's how freaking gigantic cars have gotten, because that's slightly shorter than a Mazda 3. Underpinning the vehicle will be a body-on-frame architecture, wow, and a mechanical 4-wheel drive system. Unlike Slate, which is building trucks purely as appliances, REO is targeting broader group of buyers with its runabouts. Really? All right. Tony Imperial always bringing it. REO started by Ransom E. Olds. No kidding. Let's see. I'll get to you in a second, Barry. As such, they will use simple 4-cylinder gas engines free of direct injection. Although we don't know if the engine was sourced from anywhere else or built in-house, it will be paired exclusively with a manual transmission. So only like real men can drive this. Bernardi described the vehicles occupying the American class, hence the compact size. Basic models will ship without features such as a radio or even finished door cards, and will offer abundance of accessories as optional extras. REO is also adopting an interesting open source approach to the project. As such, buyers will have access to crucial vehicle details that manufacturers would usually keep under lock and key. The company hopes this will encourage owners to develop their own parts and accessories. If these parts meet REO's requirements, they could even be listed for sale on the website. Cool. Get your 3D printer out. Get your 3D printer out, man. Built in Texas, years from the road. The Trump administration relaxation of emissions laws helped to convince REO to build vehicles that was possible. Production is planned in Texas. Reservations have opened with REO, currently accepting $25 refundable deposits. It's planned to unveil full 3-vehicle lineup in the 4th quarter before starting production in 2027. That's not bad. That's faster than Stellantis is going to be unveiling anything. Opening orders and commencing production in 28 and deliveries in 29. Yeah, like I said, it sounds like Stellantis. So there's that. I think that's really a cool thing. This is something that we actually need in this market, because when I was in college, I didn't use my charger in college. I still had it. It was sitting at my grandparents because using that car in college, I didn't want to destroy it. Being in a car, it's a lot. Plus, it really wasn't the most efficient creature on God's green earth. So I actually had first a Lynx station wagon, because it got 30 miles a gallon, and then I had an EXP, which I've talked about before. I had an EXP, and that thing got 30 miles to the gallon. I mean, they knew the one would light the world on fire, but my God, I got as a college student, I got my 30 miles to the gallon on my dollar gas. It was great. Every 2 weeks I filled up for $14. It was awesome. So I mean, these key cars, this is something that needs to actually happen. And obviously the big 3 don't really care about doing something like this because they would have if they could, but they won't. All right, so here we go. Barracuda, I love Barracuda. Is something you could coat the inside of your car with to protect it from ethanol? No. So what you do is you use a gas stabilizer, something like Stabil Marine, or there's a Startron. I don't know if it's available down there and down under, but these are products that actually protect ethanol from absorbing water. I mean, it neutralizes the ethanol, and it keeps it from actually bringing more water to the party, and it actually keeps it from reacting to the actual metal. And I've been running it in my thermoquads for years, and the ones I run in my car, no problems. Absolutely zero problems on them. I don't have any white rust in it. My fuel lines stay fine. That's what I usually will suggest, because there's really nothing you can do in the carburetor to actually stop it, because it's aluminum. Aluminum's porous, and you really can't do anything in there because gasoline is a natural solvent. So I mean, it gets really, and plus it's crevices. So if you treat the fuel and keep the fuel from being a major problem, you should be okay. The other thing is never leave tanks very low. Don't let them just, especially in a humid area, do not let your tank sit low with this new gasoline. It will absolutely just attract so much water. And what it does, it starts separating. In my fuel video and it eats the hell out of rubber. It turns rubber into stone. I've never seen anything like it. It's pretty bad. But thank you so much, Barry. That's a great question. Thank you. Let's see. Horatius, always bringing it. They haven't added a higher ethanol percentage yet, right? Remember hearing about this a while back, but don't know if the government actually mandated it. No, they're trying to, but we as car owners, as people that actually care about the environment, because we keep stuff going, we need to tell them no. Just write a quick thing to your congressman. I mean, that's all, and your senators. Just do that, because it's stupid. And it really doesn't serve anyone except the people that are in that supply chain, which is terrible. Yeah, I know, Tony Imperial. Those key cars in diesel would be phenomenal, but there's a war on diesel in the United States, and even in Europe, and it's one of the best fuels made. And what comes out of it is basically a campfire, but we can't have that. We're not allowed to have that. We can't have that. Nope. Can't have that. Not allowed to. Call on their phone line. Sure. Sure. Oh, well, let's see. Place here locally up in Northwest has ethanol 91 octane. I have 93 at Murphy. Murphy USA has 93, except it's 18 miles from my house. So I burn like 3 gallons of gas to go get it, and it's 30 cents a gallon more than premium. So it's like, yeah. Oh, escorts and links. Actually, in Europe, they were diesels in Europe, and they got the 50s. The EXP actually would have been helpful if it had been if that EXP had been a diesel, would have helped that car a lot. That 4-cylinder was just overmatched. Top speed on that car, and I noticed for fact because I tried it, it was 80. It was like 80. No, it was 91 miles an hour. That's all that's every ounce of beans I gave it, and actually going slightly downhill. I got up to 91 miles an hour in that car. And even at that point, it was scary. So there's that. So hopefully we have some good news. I mean, granted, good luck to this guy. Hopefully he can get it running. It's just a shame that, the automobile industry is so impossible to get into at this point that literally you just, they make it hard. because that's an oligopoly. They have, you can't do that without government regulation. You can't make it hard to enter business. And they're doing, the auto industry is definitely that. So it's kind of terrible. Yeah, there's a Diesel Lynx. Oh wait, there's a Diesel Lynx in your town? Holy crap. That's awesome. They only, in the United States, only for a few years. And they would make Diesel's Rangers too. I think for a couple of years too. And I had the short video on the Mark 7, which was just insane. Barracuda. There's an ethanol mixed fuel available in some places. Generally, it's not a thing, not a problem here. Oh, so you don't have that. You're lucky. You are so lucky. You don't have the farmers begging for money. Let's see. Tony Imperial, 86 Pontiac Parisian with a lazy old 307, top speed 83. I wouldn't want to see a drag race between these two cars. That would actually be the most boring thing I've ever seen. And mine was a 4-speed. Okay. Horatius. I've been thinking about why mid-60s Ford Mustangs became so expensive over time, even though there were so many sold back then. Did the vast majority of people just junk them before the 1990s? Yes and no. The Ford Mustang was a really cheap car. It was a secretary's car. It was built on a budget. It was built on a Falcon platform. Lee Iacocca wanted a secretary's car. Honestly, that is literally what he called it. It was a secretary's car. It was something a young woman could drive, and it was comfortable, relatively safe, got decent fuel economy, and it was nice looking. And the thing is, they're so iconic and they're so easy to get parts for. Like if you go to Carlisle, just regular Carlisle, not one of the special, just Carlisle, like the spring, the Carlisle spring event, and you walk down, there's actually an entire row you can build a Mustang. And you just walk down the row, and then every part you need, including a chassis, is on that row. And you could just walk down that row if you had all the cash, buy all the parts, and assemble a Mustang when you got home. That's why. I mean, unlike like my car, which, it takes an act of God to get anything for it. This thing, you can actually go to Ford's catalog and order parts for it. Literally, Ford's performance catalog has stuff for those Mustangs. I mean, that's why. Same thing with General Motors. Parts are all over the place, and GM still does make a lot of stuff for those cars. So there's the whole, that's the whole thing. It's not like they're a very good car. It doesn't matter if they're good or not. It's just they're popular. Let's see. I think that the Escort diesel engines were Mazda or Isuzu made. They might have been, but Ford was very big in making their diesels in Europe. Ford was a very good diesel maker. But I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I know for the Mark 7, they went straight to BMW because they didn't want to screw around. Let's see. Yeah, a car with a gas tank for a trunk floor. Yeah, but it didn't blow up when it got hit. That's why. That's why it didn't blow up when it got. That was the lovely Pinto. Another Iacocca idea. I always like reminding people of that. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah. So kind of gonna jump a little bit here. Still a newish car stuff. So this is kind of weird. No, actually, it's not weird, and this may explain a lot of things. And you probably know, don't know someone, but you probably know someone that this is a problem. America's $1.7 trillion of auto debt, 1.7 trillion, is driving repos back to recession levels. So I guess we can get cars on the cheap that way, right? You go to auction. Let's see. For years, the automaker industry had focused on monthly payments rather than vehicle prices, and now the bill is coming due. Americans owe roughly 1.7 trillion in auto debt. Repos have climbed to levels last seen during the Great Recession of 2007 to 9, and lenders are increasingly finding themselves reclaiming vehicles from borrowers who simply can't keep up. The blame doesn't land on the repo industry, the financing, or reckless buyers. Oh, really? Let's see. Recent investigation by the New Yorker, of all magazines, laid bare plenty of dramatic human stories around repossessions. Beyond the anecdotes, the wider trend comes down to economics. According to the report, only 2 out of 10 new vehicles and 4 out of 10 used cars are purchased outright. That leaves everyone else financing. That makes sense to a degree, given the average price of a new car just topped 50 grand last year. Since 2019, the average monthly payment of cars jumped $300 in 7 years. That is crazy. That used to be a car payment, $300. Wow. Those rising costs are reshaping the market. Roughly 1 in 5 new car buyers now carry a monthly payment exceeding $1,000. At the same time, lenders continue offering loan terms stretching to now it's 96 months. 8 years. 8 years. 8 years. Wow. Wow. I mean, that is just hilarious. Today, they're increasingly common as consumers attempt to make expensive vehicles appear affordable. As one repo industry veteran told New Yorker, they get you in whether you can afford it or not. Yeah, Stellantis did a hell of a job during the little government shutdown thing where they were basically screwing people to a wall with 20 grand over sticker for a lot of cars. I mean, this is brutal. Of course, stretching a loan out doesn't lower the cost of ownership across the full term. It usually raises it. Insurance premiums have climbed on top of that. Repair bills have grown. Parts cost more. Fuel prices remain volatile. And they're likely to stay high on average for several months. Let's see. Unsurprisingly, the pain is concentrated among subprime, of course. Delinquency rates among those consumers have reportedly reached the highest level since 2010. Many rely on independent finance companies to buy here, pay here dealers that charge incredible interest rates and aggressive when payments are missed. The lenders commonly require weekly or twice monthly payments in some case. Buy here, pay here. I love how they show a Nissan in this article. I don't know if they're trying to tell us something. They may be trying to tell us something. Yeah, wait, I'll just a lot of corn is also used in high fructose corn syrup for food, which is terrible. Yeah, high fruit. It's actually not legal in Europe. You feel wonderful. You start eating there for a few days. It's great. For many households, transportation remains non-negotiable. In much of the country, losing a vehicle means losing access to work, education, healthcare, and daily necessities. And the National Consumer Law Center has noted for those living in low incomes and rural areas not well served by public transportation, which is most of Florida, survival also depends on the availability of a car. No kidding. Buyers who want to avoid the repo man are running out of reliable options. Until affordability improves, car buyers will need to adjust because it doesn't appear that lenders or automakers are about to shift the market. So this is all part of the Great Recession, the cash for clunkers. We are still feeling that now. That's what this is. This is a hangover from the cash for clunkers, because those cars would have been, 20 years old or so. And that's a car that is a starter car. If you don't have a lot of money, a 20-year-old car, especially these days, would have been, 25-year-old car would have been something to buy. Those cars would have kept passing down, and you'd have, it keeps on getting used until it's used up. And a lot of the cars that got destroyed were cars that would have lasted 300,000 miles. I mean, that's just the fact of it. They got terrible fuel economy, but that didn't matter because they drove and drove and drove and drove, and it was really horrible. But this is the hangover. This is the unintended consequence, or maybe it was the intended consequence. I'm not entirely sure at this point, but the way things are now, we had such a lack of used cars after the buybacks that the demand for new cars went up too much, made the price of cars go up, and then it became a vicious cycle because then there's less, as those cars timed out of the market, and then cars got complicated. They aren't good used cars. So seriously, go take a look where you look for used cars and tell me how many used cars you see are 10 are like 5 to 10 years old. I honestly, I want you to go look at this later because it will blow your mind. Most of those cars you're seeing for sale on those places where you buy, just a beater car are almost 20 years old. They're from the zeros, the aughts, because those cars escaped, the cash for clunkers, and that's what's left. But it's just absolutely painful to see what has happened with the auto industry, and basically all this folly. See, there's a lot of blame in this article. None of the blame is on the folly of the electric appliance. The electric appliance, Ford lost $20 billion. It isn't like, oh, that was a made up number. No, they spent that money on product. They actually spent more money now on product, only made back a little bit of that money, and it lost $20 billion. Stellantis lost, they lost $19 billion. They're probably going to lose more. And it is just absolutely horrific that this is continuing. The insanity continues. And basically the price of cars, no legislation can make the price of cars cheaper except to get rid of the EPA and, roll back a lot of the safety things to early 1990s, because the cars were fairly safe then. I mean, that's how you make cars cheaper, because you can't make a modern car cheap. It's impossible. It really is. All those computers, all those things you're adding to the car make the car more expensive. It's just the way it works. Plus, having to do so much develop on engines to get a half mile per gallon also does that. So I am so, the EPA did its job. It needs to be gone. I mean, this is if you want to see who's really hurting you when you're buying a car, that's number one right there. It isn't the automakers. It isn't the gas companies. It isn't the unions. You look straight at the EPA. And because their rules actually do make everything much more expensive for us, and with very limited returns. And that is just where we are with them. And it's really not a good thing. It really isn't. And like that REO company, I don't know if they'll get off the ground, because there's so many rules that they have that there's nobody, there's no way to go around them. You can't just make something very simple anymore. You can't make a Volkswagen Beetle. I mean, that Volkswagen came in the, the painter built that for before World War II. But when they brought that to America, it was a hit. It was such a big hit that it absolutely scared General Motors. That's why they made the Corvair. They were terrified of that car, because they knew that car would sell like hotcakes because it was cheap and easy to work on. And it got great fuel economy. And so they just knew, even back then when you didn't have, fuel economy standards, fuel economy still mattered to some people. So but that isn't going to happen now with all these rules, because it can't. It really literally can't. And it's actually kind of terrible. So let's see. Imports that secure 10% in the car market. Yes. Yeah, and it scared the hell out of them. It scared General Motors to death more than anybody else. It scared them to death, because they just couldn't do anything to fight it except make the Corvair, which then, unfortunately got a very bad rap. The Corvair got a terrible rap, and it's a shame, because that was a very innovative car. I mean, it really was. If you look back at the Corvair, it was very innovative, and all it needed was some re-engineering and a front spoiler. It really didn't need much. And yeah, it was there's one of those bad things that happen. So this next one, a little fun. Do a little bit of fun here. I saw this article and I said, this is going to be me. I know this is a fact. This is going to be me. My daughter's got to bail me out of jail. 85-year-old takes favorite car on alleged 110-mile-per-hour ride, gets arrested for street racing a Corvette. There you go. Barry Cootie, it's nice to be a foreigner because you think that politicians say stuff and they really mean it. Yeah, it's not going away. The EPA would not going to be a thing in the past. It's going to stay around. Let's see. Yeah, Horatius 763. I doubt anything the government ever does about car pollution with all the regulations over the last 50 years is complete and total hogwash. China and India pollute, cancels out it anyway. Yeah, they don't care. And the thing is, all the big things they did was in the first couple of years. They didn't even need to put catalytic converters in. Once you got the good modern ignitions in the cars, the converters actually were useless. And they could have stopped at 1974 and everything and everything would have been 1,000 times better, but oh well, here we are. So, of course, this is in Florida because why not, hey? A picture's worth 1,000 words. A smiling mugshot of an 85-year-old Florida resident almost says it all. The man who told authorities he wasn't drag racing and didn't even know the guy speeding along with him on a Florida highway just a week ago looks to be fairly proud in the image taken just after his arrest, but according to his unknown partner in crime, he didn't even win the race when both parties claim it wasn't a race. And body cam footage obtained by the Orlando station from June 12th stop just before midnight. 85-year-old man William Bosworth, we speak your name. We speak your name. I love this. Is found smoking a cigarillo as he explains to the Lake County Sheriff Office officials that he was just taking his favorite car for a little ride. Bosworth's favorite car is a 2006 Nissan 350Z. Was clocked doing over 100 southbound on US 27 in Leesburg, along with a red Corvette. According to the arrest affidavit and records filed in courts, it appears the ride was a bit more than a little ride. During the traffic stop, sheriffs informed Bosworth that he'd be doing 110 in a 45. Yeah, the Corvette was doing 125. When asked why they were racing, Bosworth denied the two vehicles were racing. There were no intent of racing, adding that they didn't even know the other guy. Denial. Oh, I love this. Oh, the Corvette is incapable of going that fast. Bosworth told the sheriff that the Corvette had swerved at him, and he reacted. The guy in the Corvette had swerved at me. He swerved at me. He shouldn't have done that. I'm just out here having a little ride with my favorite car. I'm not doing anything to anyone. And he added that he wanted to get away from him because he was causing a problem. That's not quite the story the red Corvette driver told. Douche. The owner of the 98 Corvette, a 57-year-old Philip Signorino, also denied involvement in street racing. And body cam footage obtained from arrest, sheriff said he was going 125. Signoros replied, no, sir, absolutely not. Oh, my God, don't deny like that. According to his arrest affidavit, I read that. Signoro told the sheriff that his car couldn't reach said speeds, and the Corvette was capable of going that fast. Though a car and driver test of a 98 Corvette convertible from October 97 lists top speed at 167. So I guess that's not it's a straw argument at that point. The one that won, the Corvette. Oh, look at it. They're both smokers. Oh, wow. They're both smokers. Look at this, man. These are two dudes, man. Who said that being a man was dead? The truth. Oh, God. The truth. Wow. This thing is jumping on me. The truth comes out when both these men's stories via affidavits during and after the arrest. Bosworth was stating, having told the sheriff he used to drag race and was familiar with the high-performance vehicles. He continued to express that he was a good person and did not want to cause problems. Authorities stated in Signoro's arrest affidavit that he was also cooperating during the arrest, although during his booking, one of the staff asked Signorino which car he was driving. He said the one that won, the Corvette. Oh, Jesus. It also worth pointing out, oh, God, don't do this. It is also worth pointing out that although Bosworth and Signoro denied knowing each other at the time of the respective arrests, but since when is a lack of familiarity with another driver stop you from a street race? How have we not watched any films from Fast and Furious franchise? Both men were arrested and charged with racing on highways and operating vehicles speed limit by 50 miles an hour, which I think is a felony. Bosworth pleaded not guilty to both charges. His plea negotiation sentence is scheduled for early August. Signorino's arraignment is set for July 1st. There we go. A feel good story. Two smokers driving cars really fast and reckless at night on a empty highway. This is a feel good story of the evening. This is just beautiful. Yeah, look at this. A smoker to a rebel for life or too old to care anymore. Absolutely. I think this is a rebel. Yeah, that's what he should have said, Horatius. No, sir. I was actually going 167, not 125. 110 and a 45 reminds me of Ellen DeGeneres' ex. Yes, double oops. Yeah. I know where this was, and yeah, I guess not the smartest place to go and do these types of things. I guess that was not wise. That was really wise. I'll race them in the 71 Imperial, 81. My mom had an 81. You know what? You'd probably kick their ass with that car. I kind of feel that. I'm having that feeling. That 440. Oh yeah, Porsche. Yeah, that's right. Porsche was driving exceedingly fast in a 45. Yes, it does give hope for humanity. I'm very happy about this. I'm actually more happy that the guy was just smiling. I mean, he's 80-something years old. What does it matter at this point? Oh, hi, G Canada. How you doing? Cool. Welcome from the Great White North. I'm actually going to be talking about a car I had. Oh, a Bill 440. God, I keep on popping today. I can't get away from it. Look at this. Yeah, Tony Imperial. Of course, he has a Bill 440 in that car. He's a TNT in that thing. So I'm actually going to talk about, and I saw this because I remember this, and this is one of those things where and this is where Ford had a better idea. And I was actually kind of entertaining to see this article because it brought back some really horrific memories that I really didn't. Yeah, this actually upset me. It was so bad. So this may be the most infuriating located oil filter in automotive history. The 89, actually no, it's the 93 to 97 Ford Thunderbird 4.6 liter V8. So I had a nice green one, 4.6 and automatic, decked out, baby. Decked out. Got a deal on it too. Got it. I had the same wheels. So Americans are living through a crisis of affordability, facing inflation and practically everything under the sun. Combined with our current economic situation, the fact that Americans are keeping their old cars on the road longer than ever, and you got a perfect recipe for people doing their own wrenching instead of taking their cars to a professional shop. If you're still out there driving a 4.6 liter 10th generation Ford Thunderbird in 2026, first of all, I'd like to say congratulations. Mine was dead at 105,000 miles. Ford had a better idea with that car. They in 2020, you probably found out the hard way that the oil filter is an infuriating, difficult place to reach in the engine compartment. Yes, it is. Ford's. I hate this website. I might just have to copy these and just make them static. Ford's 4.6 liter mod motor engine mounts its oil filter on the driver's side about halfway up the block. On a Mustang or F-150, the filter was relatively easy to reach by hand, with plenty of room around the filter to get the proper tools in and loosen it without any issue. In the Thunderbird, because I had one of these, removing the filter requires finessing your tools in from the wheel well with a variety of extensions and swivels. No, that's not how I did it. You can't go in from the bottom because the sway bar is in the way. Makes it extra difficult to do the job cleanly without getting spent oil all over everything. Check out the DIY struggle on how to on YouTube. No, I won't. By comparison, check out it's easier to reach the oil filter on a Mustang with the same 4.6. I guess it's, because it's right here on the right. It's right there. It's literally right there on the Mustangs. On the Thunderbirds, it was buried. And why did Ford do this? Because Ford's evil. In the late 1980s, Ford was trying to push the Thunderbird upmarket. According to Paul Ingrassi and Joseph B. White, book 1995, Comeback, The Fall and Rise of America's Automobile Industry, the Thunderbird was trying to deliver a BMW at the cost of a Ford, targeting the 635 CSI as competition. Ford even worked with Porsche to develop the all-wheel drive version of the coupe, but cut it at the last minute. Despite its sales and critical success, the Thunderbird died off this generation because it was too technologically advanced to turn a serious profit and came in heavier than Ford had hoped. That car was massively heavy. That car was close to 4,000 pounds. I used to annihilate the front brakes because I had a 95, and in 95, they only had 11-inch, I think it was 11-inch front disc on it. In 96, they realized the discs were too small for the car. So they went to like a 12.5, and I wanted to actually try to it would cost too much to try to retrofit a bigger brake on this thing. I was literally changing front brakes every like 12 to 15,000 miles. Honest, I'm not kidding. I'm hard on cars, but this thing was awful. So then 1989, the car launched a high-performance Super Coupe version, packing a supercharged V6 with 210, 315-pound torque, and immediately won Motor Trend's coveted Car of the Year. That is like a curse. Internal turmoil and demands from higher-ups put the unprofitable BMW beater in hot water, though, and the public demands for a V8. Oh, my God. It keeps jumping. V8 version led to Ford cramming the modified 5-liter into the car for the 91 because the MN12 was designed to Essex 3.8-liter V6. Stuffing 2 more cylinders on the hood made it difficult. The 5-liter was heater required downsizing the intake and an abysmal exhaust routing to fit. That car, those had no power. Robbing the car horsepower. The same 5-liter V8 and the Mustang made 225, while the Thunderbird had 200. For 94, as this thing jumps all over the place, your website sucks, Jalopnik. Really does. In 94, they put the 4.6 in, and if I could ever get to the thing, and they put the MN in the modular 4.6, the MN12 chassis, and the engine had already been in the Crown Vic since 92. It seems Ford was unwilling to go to the expense of remote mounting the oil filter or engineering a different stand for the filter to make it easier to reach. Yeah, this thing was brutal. I actually did it from the bottom because I'm insane. But you can get it from the bottom because here it is right here. That's a sway bar. And what you had to do is you came and you basically had to you could come from the other side with your wrench and actually get it started, or you use big pliers and undid it. I mean, but you basically need a giant bin underneath there. The oil went everywhere. It was horrific. I mean, changing the oil in this car was a freaking giant mess. I did all my oil changes, and it was horrible. I mean, honestly, it was probably the worst car I've ever worked on. Honest to God. It was so bad. Let's see. But, I mean, let's see. Yeah. The Super Coupes actually were pretty decent cars. They were decent. Not great because they're too heavy. They were way too heavy. Yeah, the site does suck. Adblocker won't do much. This site still sucks. We had a turbo LeBaron. We actually had a turbo LeBaron. I hated that thing. I despised the turbo LeBaron. I despised it. That thing was literally the worst the worst handling car I've ever driven my entire life. The torque steer on that thing was absolutely, absolutely horrific. It actually almost yanked the steering wheel out of my hands around the corner because I jumped on it and it actually ripped the steering wheel out of my hands. I mean, I guess it's kind of fast, but the Super Coupe wasn't a slug, but it was just really heavy. I mean, and then in the V8, it was stupid heavy. It rode nice, but at 4,000 pounds, it was too much weight for that car. I don't know how the hell they made it so heavy, but they did. I mean, it was brutal, and they had the cheapest plastic on God's green earth in that car. I replaced every piece of plastic in the interior outside of the dash. The dash held there. Every air conditioner vent broke. The cup holders broke. The door surrounds broke. Every piece of plastic in this car broke. Thank God my grandfather worked at a Ford dealership and I was getting everything at cost. But it was literally one of the worst cars I've ever had. I mean, I had it for 10 years. And you think it was only 10 years old and I couldn't wait to get rid of it. I literally it was at the point where it was going to actually just suck me dry. I actually went out and got a BMW. It was cheaper to buy a 325i than to actually get any more money into that horrible Thunderbird. Yeah. We had a GTC. The torque steer in that GTC was horrifically bad. It was so, yeah, you're admitting, yeah, it was horrible. Ugh. Do more comments. Oh wow, yours got some venison at 125,000 miles, Tony. Cool. Jesus. Wow. Yeah, the LeBaron had a weight of a shopping cart. Yeah, and the build quality. I was not impressed with that car. Actually, that car got stolen. You want to hear something really funny? That car actually got stolen. My brother was going to college on Staten Island, and he parked it. He backed it in, and it was gone when he came back. They just stole it. Literally, they just stole it, and there we were. And I'm like, wow. So you know what? To honor, I guess to honor the Thunderbird and whatnot. Yeah, not well built. No, not well built at all. None of those Chrysler products were. Let's also now. I nosed around a Kei Car converter at the wrecking yard one day and was sitting on its frame rails, and a little push to the body showed a lot of flex. Oh yeah, they're horrible. So here we go. We're gonna have a little update. We're gonna have our update this week. We're having our update. Hold on. Okay, let's take a look at this great success from Stellantis, the new and improved Charger that everybody's going, wow, this is gonna be a world beat. It's gonna be the greatest car ever. I've seen one. Let us. I saw a Kei Car a month ago. Yeah, 23. Yeah. Let us take a look here. Let's go back and remember last week. Last week there were 12,066 Chargers available. They're in shipping or on the lots, and they had 11,795 on the lots themselves. And this is the cheapest Charger in the United States, $52,000. And you see the serial number 76479. Cheapest one, $52,000 before tax, tag, and title. There is $3,000 on the hood, but everything else eats that up. How is it going now? Because 12,066, 11,795. Let's move it to this week. Oh, 11,893, 11,693. Wait a minute. So there's only 200 Chargers in transit in the entire United States. and they sold. They sold. Be good. I have no idea how Stellantis is going to I don't know what I mean, the nonsense they're talking about, the copperhead and all that other garbage they're talking about, uh, doesn't matter. This is your mainstay car, and it's not selling. They're literally going to Dodge Hornet this car. I honestly think that unless something miraculously happens, which it isn't, because we now know that next year's model basically gets a few doodads in the interior and a new paint color. That's the changes for 27, and those cars are coming out soon. They're coming out end of August, beginning of September. So we have less than 2 months for this Charger to break 10,000 sales, because it's nowhere. It's not even close. It was at 1,600 at the end of March. We're not even close to 10,000. This is the worst, literally now the worst selling Dodge product ever. No if, ands, or buts. No, nothing. I mean, gas powered. The EV was the worst selling Chrysler Dodge product ever. This is now the worst selling Dodge product ever. Congratulations. You deserve a big round of applause. You have basically killed Dodge. Have Tim Knuth keep running around talking Hellcat this, Hellcat that, as your sales plummet to depths unknown, and Dodge and Chrysler are going to be gone very soon. I mean, it's obviously not. You don't have to be a soothsayer to figure this one out. They're done. They are as done as done can be, and there's no way to fix this. There's nothing in the pipeline. The only ideas they have are bad. We went over their ideas a few weeks ago, and they're terrible ideas. The Copperhead, stupid idea. 2-seater, you sell what, 3,000 of those? An SRT product with a wing on it, and 3,000 of those. I mean, they need $100,000 model car, and they don't have it. It's not very good anymore, and it's basically it's over. I mean, this Charger is a failure. And the media has stopped trying to gaslight us that is success, and I mean, even they gave up, because they're like, yeah, no, you can't defend this anymore. I want to know, has anybody out there actually seen one? I know Green Viper has seen one, or Viper Green Beetle has seen one. I've seen one. I took a picture of it and I posted. That was the only one I've ever seen. And I'm on the lookout for, I mean, I know cars. I've seen one. And I mean, I was at a car thing on Saturday night with 200 cars there, just to cruise in at a, Wendy's and a gas station. And there was not one of those Chargers there. Not one. There was not a single. None. It's yes, Tony, they're going to rebadge Fiats, Renaults, and Peugeots, but the Fiats are going to be Chryslers. There is absolutely nothing planned for Dodge except the Copperhead and this SRT thing, and then something like a Hornet, which is going to fail. I mean, it's going to be a Fiat, and I don't even understand what's going on. Hey, Vintage. All right, have a good one. Who's in charge? Anthony Filosa is in charge of Stellantis. Matt McAleer, who failed miserably at Jeep, now is the head of Dodge, and he's going to, and he's also head of Chrysler, because he's I mean, I might as well promote up. I mean, fail upwards, I always say. And Filosa is trying to basically make the unworkable work. This company can't can't function. It just can't, because it has to. You have so much European or talk red tape, just to put it simply, red tape in Europe, and they have to build cars for red tape in Europe, but they have to make cars for the American market, but they don't know how to do both, and they won't let the old Chrysler Corporation run autonomously and just make their own product. They've literally stopped that, and and there's no change. There's no development of new V8s for Stellantis. I they was that rumor that they no no there's nothing new under the sun. They won't allow it, and this is really bad. I mean, it makes me sad. I mean, I'm not happy about this. This is actually, it's sad, because it didn't need to die like this. It didn't need to go away like this. It literally is mismanagement at a level never seen before. This is going to be studied in business colleges. I don't even understand how you have so much leverage and so much engineering and such a catalog of things, and you take it and you basically piss it away. And yeah, once again, I don't need a tinfoil hat, because it seemingly pretty much, why offer the average person a car if you don't want them to have one? That obviously, though, it doesn't make any sense for these companies to be playing ball, because it's just going to ruin them. I don't even understand it. Gen 4 Hemi should have been out by 09. Yes. I actually made this statement when they were still running out, when the idiots were running out. And I'm sorry if you bought one of these and buying those last calls. And I'm like, why would I want to buy a car with a 20-year-old engine in it? I mean, at that point, the Hemi, Ford had made 3 Coyotes. They actually are on the 3rd generation Coyote by the time that Stellantis was unloading these Hemi cars, and they never did anything of any substantial, modification to them. They were just basically the same design for 20 years. And it was actually quite embarrassing to think that people were paying $20,000 above a sticker price for something that was an antique. And I don't even understand it. I really don't. And the other thing, as I'm going to keep saying every time I want to talk about those cars, none of those cars are going to be collectible. They're not going to be collectible. Hellcats are not collectible. They're too expensive to repair. They're literally in the Bugatti level of expense for the average guy. And it's just, the market's thin. It's not a collectible car. You're not gonna make your retirement if you spent $120,000 on a Hellcat. You're not. You're a fool. It's just, it's actually kind of sad. But yeah. So yeah. And Rand, it was absolutely way ahead of her time. The anti-industrial revolution. Yeah. She kind of called a lot of the spot on. This is really, you have to understand, when you talk about cars, you still got to understand how the world works. And this isn't good. And we need to let them know that this isn't good. Let's see. Oh, Barracuda. We got a lot of used cars from Japan and New Zealand because they're right-hand drive. Probably the reason we got the Familia. Oh, yeah. Oh, I saw a little bit of that. That's a weird car. Wow. That, and the other thing is, tech support will be obsolete in 10 years. Well, that too. But, the other thing is, the Stellantis is the worst manufacturer when it comes to supporting vehicles. And I'm actually going to do a video on this, because it really is hurting the older Chrysler products. Because if you go look at a direct connection, brochure, catalog, I guess, there is literally nothing in it. The old car section is, I think, 19 pages, and a lot of it's just pictures of stuff that you can't buy. That is all that's there. If you go to the Ford Performance thing, it's a book, and it's a book full of stuff you can buy. Same thing with General Motors. They have a whole book of stuff you can just buy. And yeah, so Christ, I take no joy in Stellantis destroying one of the oldest car brands in the United States by being completely incompetent, and they are. Tim Kuniskis is a clown. I will continue to call him a clown. I will not worship the altar of Tim Kuniskis. Tim one trick pony Kuniskis. Let's put a Hellcat in it. Yay. No, dude. No. How about you in the Ram trucks, how about you develop a decent 6-cylinder that isn't garbage like Ford did? Ford took the 2.7. 2.7 EcoBoost is in most F-150s. Decent engine. Can actually pull more than your Hemi can. And they last, because they're built like a diesel, they last 200,000 miles. I mean, I'm sorry, but okay. My truck can now tow a new Hemi all day long, twice on Sunday. I can tow almost 12,000 pounds, and I can tow my car without breaking a sweat. So I don't know. Let's see. Yep, that's why Mustangs is still the best bet. Most Mustangs built in the last 24 years are easy, relatively to fix. Parts are everywhere. So many parts. Yeah. Hell, any Mustang except like the Mustang 2. I mean, any Mustang. It's amazing. Oh yeah, yeah. The Mark 7s. I love that car. And honestly, yeah, Fox body. The only thing with the Lincolns is that there's a lot of stuff that is a little unobtainium because it's a Lincoln, but the engine stuff is there. It's the suspension stuff that's a little hard to do, but still, you'd have a pretty fast luxury car because you can make that car almost as fast as a Mustang. It's heavier, but I mean, hell, those Mustangs. What do those Mustangs run, like 11s without doing anything crazy? I mean, those 80s Mustangs, I mean, they're light as hell. So I mean, hell, if you even got a Mark 7 to run the 13s, which isn't really that big an ask. Holy crap. I mean, that's a hell of a car. I want the gas powered Cummins. Yes. They're developing it. I don't know who's selling it, but they're developing it. I mean, it looks incredible. Absolutely one of the greatest ideas. Cummins actually does do good. They do really great engineering. I mean, they're what was it? They're the 12 valve, not the 24 valve, the really simple that 12 valve. I mean, damn, that thing my friend has one and it beats the hell out of it. I think just keeps going. I mean, absolutely amazing. So, speaking of nostalgia, so let us talk about this. I found this kind of fascinating because I didn't know there was this many companies that did this. And oops, let's remove you and add you and add to stage. There we go. 6 companies that make muscle car bodies when the automakers won't. Look at this. First of all, I didn't know there were 6 companies that did this. And it is absolutely, so here we go. Restoring a classic car is a dream challenge for many enthusiasts. The thought of taking something from a basket case condition to transform into a show winner is a tantalizing prospect if you're insane. What restorers should know before beginning a classic project, though, is that you should not underestimate the work involved. No, as many challenges will crop along your way. And I truly know this from working on that 300, that 61 300. That car, not even a basket case. And it is literally the most evil thing I've ever worked on in my entire life. Honest to God, I'm working on the videos for it. The car is evil. The brakes, the brake upgrade is satanic. I mean, that's the only way to put it. The brake upgrade thing on is satanic, and I'm absolutely just mind. I am just but people like restoring cars, you have no idea. You have no idea what the hell you're going to go through. One of the most challenging, most obtained, the parts and panels required. A classic in need of restoration may need doors, wings, front panels, you name it. And sometimes a quick call to the heritage department and a classic automaker is that's all is needed. For example, Jaguar and Stellantis stock such panels, but Stellantis only does that for Fiats or Alphas, I think. They don't do any of that for America because I know I can't get a body panel from Stellantis for my car. Not to worry, though. As in many instances, there are many specialized companies that are out there producing panels and indeed complete bodies, which can effectively be seen as fast-forward cheat codes for restorers. Whether it be a classic American icon, an old school British sports car, or perhaps something more exotic, the aftermarket holds the answers. What is also interesting, the recent rise of Chinese firms, of course, reproducing bodies, absolutely smattering of historic models, including Fords, Toyotas, even Porsches. GTO, yeah, look at this, Ferrari GTO. All vintage Ferrari models are special in a way, more special than the others. One of the most revered is the 250 model, powered by the Colombo V12. Smallest displacement V12 of all time. Sweeping lines, toxic. Look at that thing. That is gorgeous. They are now $10 million when they appear for sale. So, English specialist GTO Engineering found a solution, reproducing a number of 250 model bodies in-house. Dubbed the Revival Series, the GTO Engineering has produced the SSB, TRW, TR, and California Spider recreations. Don't get too excited, as not only has a firm stopped producing them in order to focus on servicing, restoration, service, upkeep of original models, but that they also sported eye-watering asking prices. A ballpark figure of $1 million. Holy Christ. Well, that's still, let's see, figures north of 10 or 20 million, and that's practically, when compared to that, it's pocket change. Look at this Corvette. And I think I've seen this car, because this is a car they raced at Sebring. Bringing back things to earth, 60s icon and super performance. The American firm recreates legends like Shelby Cobras, Ford GT40s, and Daytona coupes. While Super Performance does build faithful replicas, the firm also put together classic replicas with modern tech and more powerful engines. Yeah, that's a Corvette. In Super Performance Composite Shop, the parts are CAD engineered and CNC machined with the utmost precision. The ensured quality finish is achieved. The bodies are then oven baked. Look at this. And polished by hand and machined for 2 days to finish. Priming and painting also happens in-house. The price kicks off at $90,000. It could cross $200,000 for the like the GT40 Daytona Coupe or Corvette Grand Sport. That one that was up in the picture. Look at this. Oh, if maybe went right by it. So here we go. Here's a Chinese company making stuff for older cars. If I can get this thing to stay where it wants to be. Wow. I might have to bail on this thing, because Jalopnik is garbage. Oh my God. Oh, the hell with you. All right, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this article. They just suck. Well, I want to get into real stuff anyway. All right. Mental note. Just basically rip the things. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's go through the comments. Anything here? Would you buy a Chinese-made 1971 Imperial? I don't know if I'd buy a Chinese-made anything. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. That there's no need for that. There is no need for a website to be that bad, especially since no one I don't know what their readership is. It probably isn't that big, and probably want people on the internet to talk about it. I don't know. I don't know. Oh my God. Wow. So here's something that actually is bad. And I am, once again, I know some other people have talked about it, but this just happened. And I am absolutely flabbergasted that no one, of course, is talking about this, because why would they at this point? Because once again, let's get the tinfoil hats on. Hell, I don't need a tinfoil hat. 8,600-acre wildfire decimates massive Idaho salvage yard with 8,000 cars. Think of this for a second. So this thing got absolutely burnt. Now, the salvage yard doesn't have gasoline in it. There's no oil in it. YouTube is hey, yeah. The thing is, I'm a partner with them, but yeah, they do stuff that I don't really particularly like, but yeah, I understand. But this is just getting brutal with the websites. It just aren't playing. The vastness of America's West offers plenty of space to store old cars in a drier environment that keeps rust at bay. But this week, car enthusiasts got an unfortunate reminder that large salvage yards are vulnerable to another threat: wildfires. Sure. L&L Classic Auto in Wendell, Idaho claims to have over 8,000 cars in sight, ranging from 20s to 80s. Most of the car parts are considered beyond saving. Oh my God. But it still makes them valuable resources for keeping the other cars on the road or those willing to trek to rural Idaho for a neat history lesson. Earlier this week, a wildfire dubbed the median fire descended on Wendell and the salvage yard. Oh, look at that. Oh, Jesus. This site's doing it too. So, wow. Oh my God. That's a 70 Coronet. Oh, I see. It's because it's in between old brushes. On Wednesday, Dave Freiberger, who was visiting L&L numerous times for video shoots over the years, posted on Facebook that the fire had reached a trove of vintage cars, sending reports of searches on the ground. A letter up that said, all the people are okay. The junkyard took a big hit. The median fire is estimated it's 8,600 acres in size, according to Idaho News. Bureau of Land Management officials. What the hell's going on here? Oh, God. You know, I've never had problems with this before. And of course, I don't have Fluno here. Full assessment of damage will wait till the fire is put out. But photos accompanying Freiberger's Facebook post showing burning cars, clouds of smoke developing in the salvage yard, not looking good. At risk is collected cars varied in numerous things. During the visit in early 2025, Freiberger spent plenty of 60s classic, lots of decommissioned work vehicles with fantastic hand-painted lettering. And this has to be owned by the same company. So now so now this is, but the thing is, this would be, this fire wouldn't be such a big deal if they if there weren't other things going on to make it so classic cars can't get fixed. And this isn't the only fire. This is what's so strange about this. It's just strange. Oh, so Dynacom, they were going to do e-bodies. They really were. I did a story on it, and Stellantis is a real pain in the ass to work with. I think that they just couldn't make it happen. From my understanding, I don't think that they are making them. They were talk of them doing it, but they're not. And I don't even know if they're doing that carbon charger anymore, because it was just $100,000 for a carbon fiber body. And I'm not really sure if that was really if that was a very viable option there. Maybe I should try ad blockers. I think that would be a good idea. Yeah, can't download it now because I'm in the middle of a live. So that's really not the way it's going to work. And let's see. This is some more. We're going to get into our awfulness at this point, because this is what I was really talking of getting, because this is stuff that actually scares the hell out of me. These are things that scare me to death as a car guy, as someone that doesn't like, likes to drive old cars, doesn't like to be bothered. That was 15 years ago. Wow. So yeah, I remember they came out for a while, but there was talk of new ones, and the Dynacore just did not. Dynacom just couldn't. Let me go check though. Let me see if actually they're actually what they're doing now. Dynacom. Let me see. Let's see what they're doing. Dynacom car bodies. Because I'm kind of curious to see what they're doing, because I haven't really looked it up lately. Dynacom classic bodies. Let's see. Let's go to this, since this looks like this is going to be fine. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at Dynacom. So they do, let's see, vehicle makes, Ford and GM. I think they had a problem with Fiat, well, then Stellantis, because you can get a Blazer, Camaro, Chevelle, Firebird, a truck cab. Ford, you can get a Mustang. And Yeah, so there you are. So they're just building Ford and General Motors. And so here's see they're showing some of the old Challengers. I know they were building Broncos for a while. They stopped building. I think Ford didn't want them to. And but here, this is all stuff that they built. So they are still in business, but they yeah, I'm not I just think no, actually, yeah, they were holding on to things, but when you needed the one part, you could go to them. I know it's kind of a weird thing. I mean, they're kind of like hoarders, but not really. But yeah, they're still hoarders. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. All right, so let's get on with this because this is just absolutely this makes my skin crawl, actually. This really does. I don't like it. This is stuff I don't like. Cops are using license plate readers to stalk people. License plate readers can now monitor virtually any connected device, and these systems have already been abused. Imagine that. Um, just a few days ago, we published a story about a company who has maintained automatic license plate readers selling the data they collected and how that surveillance for profit is going to expand, allowing readers to track your electronic signatures too, from your phone to your wearable gadgets and even the infotainment hardware on your car or in your car. No plate, no problem. Thanks to a product called Signal Trace, the name certainly leaves a little to the imagination. It's like Skynet. To make matters worse, 404 Media released 2 additional reports detailing police abuses of an existing widely popular camera system called Flock, which you don't have to look far to say that they're not very popular in America right now, and I'm okay with that. Um, Maybe you've heard of it. The company has contracts with states and local governments all over the world to provide passive video monitoring of public spaces. Mm-hmm. 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 Sure. Uh, Flock connects communities, businesses, and public safety so incidents can be understood clearly and decisions made on the facts. Of course, that's what the company says because do no evil. It also says privacy first and has somewhat promoted a prominent link to a Flock's data privacy policies. That seems friendly and transparent, right? Unfortunately, Flock's track record of protecting your data and even its raw camera feeds is, well, piss poor. To say the least, last month, an independent journalist discovered that Flock exposed both personal information and related search queries entering by police through multiple search engines. Wow. I'll get to you in a second. The leaked data was aggregated into a searchable database called Have I Been Flocked? Christ, I don't even know if I want to look at that, where you can see for yourself whether your license plate has been run through the Flock database, in some cases, why. That may matter more than you might think because law enforcement isn't using Flock exclusively to do its job. Multiple officers have been caught using Flock data to stalk both acquaintances and strangers. One Florida officer, great, I'm in Florida, used Flock license plate lookup, among other things, to stalk his ex-girlfriend and her family over the course of several months in 2024. Another one, Missouri, created a 542 test search over the course of 10 months to monitor the whereabouts of his wife's car and mysterious second vehicle. The group called Deflock Joplin put the timeline together using Have I Been Flocked when the pattern was reported by the Joplin PD and allegations. You guys got to really work on your websites, man. Seriously. This is junk. A group called in December 2025, the Joplin Police Department became aware of a possible policy violation by one of its personnel regarding the improper use of a department resource, specifically the Flock license plate reader. That's what they said in the statement. Of course, they're going to say that in a statement. Why wouldn't they? An internal investigation was immediately initiated by the Joplin Police Department. Officers of Internal Affairs, the officers under investigation were probably placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the internal investigation. So that means they had a vacation. Don't worry, it wasn't a mere paid vacation, though the exact circumstances of the departures weren't specified. The officer is no longer employed by the city of Joplin. How nice. So they did something. They did something good, I guess. Flock told 404 Media in June that there were 15 incidents, 15 of police abuse or database when they went to take credit for outing the abusers. Oh, you got to be kidding me. There's also 140,000 monthly active users of Flock. So it's the relatively rare instance of abuse, while abuse absolutely wrong and unlawful, exactly what they are, rare, a Flock spokesman told. Of course, Flock's going to say that nobody's abusing this because it's their system. I mean, this is almost too easy to stalk people. Humans are fallible, unlike humans. Oh my God. Bear with me, guys. This is actually important, and I'm trying to get through it. Humans are fallible, unlike most tools society provide law enforcement. Flock ensures that all instances are technology, if is misused, the evidence will be used to hold the responsible parties accountable. Is right there in our system, spokesman. Oh my God. We encourage all our customers to have a usage policy, regular training, and implement our audit assistance tool, which proactively flags unintended use. In other words, Flock provides the tools for proper oversight, except when the government asks them to not have proper oversight. Come on. What's Flock going to do? Fire a good customer not using their product to the full extent possible? No. Imagine a version of capitalism. Pickup trucks would be as rare as honest politicians. No matter where you live in the United States, there's a decent chance Flock or something like that is either using or being trialed somewhere near you. In modern Internet of Things, you no longer have a license plate to be tracked, nor do you need to be in a car to be targeted. Welcome to the future. Yeah, this is literally this stuff makes me sick. I mean, honestly, this honestly makes me just nauseous. This is stuff that makes me nauseous. Yeah, it's so allegedly the reason for data centers, according to conspiracy theorists, the government has to have somewhere to store all the surveillance systems they lock up. Kind of, sort of. It's kind of, sort of that, but not really. But it's kind of part of the thing. They already use Amazon storage. Amazon is the world's largest storage company. AWS is the largest storage company in the world. That's how Amazon makes their money, is with storage, and they have government contracts. Let's see. Is what leading states limit the use of cars older than 2006? Yeah. You can't track those cars if they're especially OBD1 and early. You can't do anything. I mean, they have no information at all in their systems. OBD1 cars have nothing. And, 2006 is actually when they started with the higher speed and actually having deeper storage and communication. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep, Skynet. Absolutely. This is bad. I read 1984 in the 70s. I'm waiting for this. Yeah, 1984 is a warning, not a guide. I hate to try to remind politicians that it's not a guide. So our final little foray into AI making our lives utterly miserable. This one is absolutely comical, but it is still horrible all at the same time. It's comical yet terrible. And here it is. AI used to rig prices at 1,700 California gas stations. 1,700. Wait until you see all the people who had police involvement just because their cars were tracked. They went to a woman's house because she traveled through a town too many times and went, oh my God, that's insane. But yeah, here's AI at work. California drivers allege AI pricing software inflated fuel costs statewide. Nice. California is famous for plenty of things, but few great quite like its fuel prices, which are already ranked among the steepest in the nation. Good going, Gavin. As of today, regular runs $5.56, mid $5.78, and premium $5.95. Now, a group of residents claim the state's major station operators have leaned on a shared pricing software to coordinate what they charge at the pump, potentially skimming millions from drivers 1 penny at a time. That's called collusion. This is a new way to do collusion. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by this. It claims, hold up in court, the case will become one of the most significant legal tests of yet AI's growing role in setting prices. Filed under a federal court in Sacramento on June 22nd, the complaint first brought to light by Bloomberg names Walmart, Marathon Petroleum, BP, 7-Eleven, and fuel pricing software Calibrate Fuel Systems. Wow. Yes, I know. And I feel bad. I actually watch a lot of people from England. And actually, one of my favorite guys on YouTube is Count Dankula. He's in Scotland. I admire the Scots because they don't really care. But yeah, they are putting people in jail for stating an actual opinion or even a fact. Yeah, this is great. So yeah, here we are. I hope Alberta could break free. That'd be cool. I just need to be their own nation. Don't join us, please. We're a mess. AI pricing platform to automatically adjust fuel prices using confidential market data shared among participating realtors. Oh my God. The lawsuit claims the system helped operators raise gasoline prices by as much as 22 cents a gallon and diesel up by 33 cents a gallon. Holy crap. Plaintiffs argue that every additional penny added to fuel prices costs California drivers $134 million annually. When families struggles to afford commute to work, defendants have conspired to put an end to the competition, joining an AI-powered trust to ensure that no matter where a driver turns, the price of gasoline is artificially high. Wow. At the center of the case is California's recently enacted AB 325, a law passed in 2025 that prohibits the use of shared pricing algorithms that could facilitate anti-competitive behavior. The lawsuit believes the among the first major legal challenges brought under the new legislation and seeks damages on behalf of drivers who are allegedly overpaid at the pump. I mean, think about this. This is literally real time knowing your habits and absolutely changing the price of gas. And they literally use the AI algorithm to know that you go, oh, most people go on Thursday. And the price of gas, no matter what, price of gas is going to go up on Thursday. And at those stations. And they're all probably triangulated, and you're stuck with a higher price because you're not going to drive 20 miles out of your way to get gas. All of this is happening just weeks after California authorities issued subpoenas to several station operators as part of an investigation into high fuel prices. And for now, the allegations remain unproven. For its part, Calibrate says on its website that each retailer's AI instance is entirely separate. Sure. Yeah. With no shared data or models, no interaction between competitors. Strange. Representative for Walmart said that it's reviewing the complaint and respond appropriately in court. BP declined because they're smart. Marathon, 7-Eleven, and Calibrate didn't respond at all. Also pretty smart. So let's see. And so this is their software, how it works. So this is how it AI prices. So it's optimizing price, historical competitor reaction, price strategy. So this is how that's how they centralize and set up the pricing for their gas. That is absolutely terrifying. And this is where we are. I mean, this is honestly where we are. We're at the point now where the AI is now being used for a lot more bad than good. I mean, every decent little thumbnail it helps me create, because I am not my daughter. My daughter's the one with the talent of drawing things. I can't. But I mean, for every one of those, it does something incredibly evil. It is not a great thing. And the using cameras and AI to try to outthink us and try to do things. I mean, think of this, because Tesla uses like basically an AI to do an autopilot, which crashes into things. I mean, let's awesome how that works. And it really is kind of scary the way this technology is being forced into cars, because that's where we are with this. It's being forced into cars because this is what is being wanted, and I am kind of actually scared about how what this is actually going to mean in the long run, because now we're going to have, like, this AI outthinking us when we're driving. And it's bad enough we already have the driver aids that shake the steering wheel when it sees the white lines or whatnot. But what does that actually really mean for us in the future with things? Plus, with the old cars, being that it isn't going to be registration dependent anymore, because they're going to use AI for recognition of these cars. And this is where everything gets really slippery and kind of scary, because this is a technology that can absolutely be used very, very evil. It can be used very much for evil. Um, and it's not good. And actually, I'll kind of run on this. 20-cent motor. Insurance companies are being blamed, but it's more likely for vehicle control, law enforcement. Actually, what's really funny is that the AI, um, insurance companies would love to get AI and have it be put in your car, because then they can really make sure they're going to stick you hard. Because I mean, the Progressive already starts with that little monitoring thing, but that's just basic monitoring stuff. This can actually be next friggin' level of, and I mean, it's not very good. And I'm not I'm if you haven't noticed, I'm really not a very big government guy. I really don't I don't trust them. I don't trust the government. I don't. You're a fool if you do, because any government that can actually provide everything for you can take it away. And that is an absolute true saying. And this is really really terrible. And the whole car industry is getting decimated, because this is how the average person can get around. And old car and new car, and this is not these things are not good developments for the average person. If you're not in that 0.1%, this is not good for you. This is actually really bad. And this AI, I mean, now it's changing gas prices. You know, what else? I mean, what else are they going to be using it for? Because it is very powerful computing, but it learns, and that's the scary part. It learns. And actually, I read, it was an article. Yeah, I read an article. They unleashed 5 AIs in a sim world, and they gave them basically one rule: don't don't hurt each other, and don't commit crime. Within a week, it was absolutely like mayhem. It was literally mayhem in this simulated world. There was crime, there was murder, everything was happening. The AIs went insane in a week. And that's what's so scary about this. So in your car, that's why I don't trust self-driving. I don't trust self-driving cars, and nobody should. This is because here's always my moral question, because I know driving an old car, everything is up to me, especially an old car with manual, with no anti-lock brakes, no traction control. Everything's up to me. And if you're driving, if you have a self-driving car and a deer runs out in front of you, does that car swerve to hit the deer and then run into a tree? Or does it hit the deer and avoid you going into a tree? Or, or if a kid runs out in front of the car, does it avoid to hit the kid and then run you into a tree? Or, I mean, this is where and then, a self-driving car, who do you sue? Because no one's driving it, so you can't sue the car. And this is why this type of stuff just scares the hell out of me. And that's why I love old cars. Because honestly, I know how to work on newer stuff, but dear Christ, I like my simple 72 Charger. I even like my simple 89, and even the 95 BMW is a simple car. It has a computer that's inside that stands alone. and it doesn't have any real information on it. It just makes the engine run. I mean, that's all it does is it makes the engine run and the top go down and up. That's a whole nother story. But now we're at the point where now they want to start enforcing this type of stuff in regular cars. And I don't, as somebody that's very analytical, I don't understand the ability, how this actually helps any of us, because it's all it is control. And Ben Franklin said to give up freedom for safety you deserve neither. And this is where we are with this. And I don't like it. I really don't. I really don't. I don't like. I mean, none of this is any good for us. And honest to God, this couldn't be any worse. And for the old cars, what this does is that they literally your pathways for getting stuff has been kind of blocked. That's why 3D printing is going to be our only hope. And I've already read about them trying to control what gets 3D printed. And they use the guise of this and that, but 3D printing, because metal is an option, and it will be a very common option, not in the far future. When that's done, you can be able to make some stuff for your car that you can't get. But my God, this is really where you're going to need to and where you're going to need to actually go if you have an old car. I mean, anything older than 7 years old, because that's when they don't need to make parts for it anymore. Let's see. AI didn't even know how many years my mayor, near longest serving my state, was in office. As one example, how to make Oh, AI literally. I looked up. I was on Facebook, and this guy was talking about sunroof chargers and was swearing they put electric sunroofs in 74 chargers. Absolutely not a fact. Absolutely never. I've never seen one, never heard of one. The guy runs sunroofs, the sunroof registry, never heard of one, never seen one. No, there's no literature anywhere saying that these things were built, because by 73, Chrysler was throwing in the towel and they were putting manual sunroofs in cars. So I go online to look up production stuff, and there's the AI thing on top. And you know what the AI thing did? It actually quoted the Facebook post with the incorrect information as fact, because that's how that it doesn't discern sources. It just discerns it as viable information to your search. And for car stuff, it is the worst thing to do. I literally, as soon as somebody, I'm working with someone, they go and they start using, like they look at the Google summarization. I said, don't even. That's going to be 90% of that's going to be wrong, because it pulls from sources, like it pulls from forums, and we all know what happens on forums. We've been on forums, right? People don't usually know things on forums. I can't tell you how many times I've gone looking for stuff on the E36, and I saw a question, and I go down, and there's never an answer. I'm like, well, that was a waste of my time. Yeah, 20 Cent. All it does is look around for any bit of info so it can make up its own story, like like the Obama administration. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, this is really bad. I mean, yeah, I feel really bad for you in New Zealand, Barry Kuda. Yeah, you picked the winner there. Yeah, not my cup of tea. Yeah, this is it. Old cars were the best. Sometimes humans fix things just fine the way they are and go to try to make something even better. It's like Ford. Cars have gone way too far in some ways. Yeah, that 1995 was like peak. I mean, honest to God, that was like peak. And we've been going downhill ever since. Yeah, I always answer on forums even when I don't know about the topic. Nice, Rooney. That's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, this is the really bad part. And literally as car guys, though, especially and that's why I have my channel. I'm trying to, I mix things up, and I want to have things that younger guys can go, okay, and have something of fact to work with when they're trying to do something in their car, or they're buying a project. a lot of these channels in YouTube, with guys that actually have cars and stuff, these are good sources for people trying to get into, because trying to start a car from scratch, you're insane if you try to. I actually had somebody email me, and I'm not going to tell his name or anything, or even show pictures of the car. He actually wrote me, and he was wanting to find a $15,000 to $20,000 Charger, third generation, which was like, I basically said good luck. I mean, because I especially, he wanted a driver. He wanted something you can actually just turn the key and go, which is not an easy thing for a third generation Charger for under 20. He actually found something that was not bad. It isn't what everybody would want. It has a repaint, and he paid less than 20 for it. Actually, he got a good deal on this car. It's a lot less than it should. It is a base Charger, but it's a hard top, not a coupe. So all the windows go down. It's a bucket seat car, slapstick car, AC delete car, vent delete car. It has road wheels. I think it should have rallies, but the damn books are always wrong. But the thing is, someone like that, this is where all this information could help him, because he seemed like he was a little bit younger, and he really had a lot of questions about it, or not very knowledgeable. And where you go and that literally, you can go out and get cars like that if you ask the right questions and watch the right things. And I gave him a list of things that he needs to actually do, and places to actually get stuff, because the brake lines on. I mean, from the pictures, I could tell the brake lines were done. The rubber was done and needs to be changed out. The gas tank was painted black, which tells me the gas tank was bad, and he probably just need to change that. The interior is very nice in the car. The oil, don't know anything about the oil. It has an oil leak, probably a big black leaking from the side. It has the aluminum valve covers; those leak like sieves. But honestly, the rest of the car, though, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's not anything. It's not horrid, but it's not a terrible car. And and the thing is, the best channel actually to watch for learning about this is what the hell's his name? Kiwi's Customs and Classics. Kiwi is a body man. Kiwi's a body man, and literally people bring cars to him that look great, and yeah, they're not. And honestly, it's a lot of stuff. If you don't know a lot about cars and where stuff hides on them, that's the type of stuff that people should be watching. They the other thing is, like, I wish I could do this. I have a consignment place by me, and actually I saw a Roadrunner, a 71 Roadrunner that has that filler plate on the top. The front end of the car looked like a Picasso, like nothing lined up on it, and they wanted $70,000 for the car. I mean, and somebody bought it. I mean, this is the problem. All of us are pretty knowledgeable of cars that are, listening to me. Most of you are pretty knowledgeable of cars. And the thing is, a vast majority aren't. Like my buddy I'm helping with this 61 Chrysler. He really knows enough to be dangerous. And he wasn't a car guy. And he, he's a mechanical kind of guy, but he's not a car guy. And he honest to God, he just goes and he just doesn't know. That's why he bought this 61 Chrysler. When if you ask any Mopar guy, honest to God, the 61 Chrysler is something, unless it's going to be your only car, pass on it. And it's his third car. And this thing has been literally killing me. I call this the Satan car. And I can't wait to show the videos, especially SSBC, who make the worst brake retrofit kits I've ever seen in my entire life. This company should be ashamed of themselves. This stuff's so bad. The master cylinder was incorrect for the car. All the brake lines are incorrect for the car. Literally, the bearings were Chinesium bearings, not even Timken. $1,200, and $1,200, and you couldn't even give you Timken bearings. I mean, whatever. You know, it's so bad. Yeah. And I don't know. So any sure auction. Actually, Dead God's Garage went over. That's how I got into his channel. He actually looked at, and I wish I had been doing YouTube when I saw this, because I saw something very similar. He looked at a Charger that was sold at Mecum that used compression fittings on the brake lines. And actually, we went over a car last week that had compression fittings on the brake lines. So, but yeah, I saw a car just like that where it was hacked together with stuff from your hardware store. No. Tony Imperial just bought a 60 DeSoto with 28 original miles. Is it a Cross Ram one? Is it a Red Ram, or is it just a regular 413 car or 383 car? So let me know. 28,000 miles. That's insane. That is insane. All right. So if everyone wants to know, this is what a 60 DeSoto looks like. What is it? Second to last year. 60 DeSoto. Let me open up a new window here, because I want to show this to you guys, because this is insane. 1960 DeSoto. Do. Yes, yeah, well, yes, and back then, yes, to get parts, no. So this is, what is it? I'm imagining, is it a coupe there, or is it a 4-door? Yeah, your family car. A 361. So the small that's the B engine. So here we go. This is what a oh, this one's for sale. This is kind of nice looking. This is a 4-door. We'll just do this. Here we go. It's a 4-door Adventurer, because they had the wildest names at DeSoto. And I'm just curious about this. This is a type of car that is, look at it, 12 grand. It only it didn't sell 12. Look at this car. All right. So DeSotos were kind of below Chryslers, but above Dodges. So they were in a kind of a weird place. Same, language on the body. He really liked, the wings on it, and the way the front's kind of frumped down. That was a big. Virgil was very big on that. And look at this. See the tail lights up. Yep, 4-door. Look at this. And this one, I think, probably has the 2-barrel in it too. It's a single exhaust on it. 14-inch wheels. See, the Chryslers came with 15s, which is weird. No seat belt. There's your couch. And bench seats. It has lap belts. Holy crap. Wow. Somebody ordered lap belts. There's the steering wheel of death. And everything's all nice, hard chrome in front of you. 120 mile per speedometer, which was terrifying. This is 29,000 miles on it, which is almost what Tony has there. That looks like a 361. Oh, it's a 383. They almost look the same. So this one has a 383 in it. So the rebuilt. And here's the underside of the car. It has the weird transmission. These didn't have. They had like a different type of 727, and it's just strange. And also this one, I think it has, if I remember correctly, it also has like a center bearing on it, because it's just a weird car. But yeah, these are really nice. But yeah, this is a really nice car to kind of just float down the road on. It's not as intricate as the Chryslers, and it's not as sporty as the Dodges. But yeah, it had your older Torque Flight in there with only neutral drive, 2, 1 in reverse. And then you have all your buttons on top. But it's the same architecture they used in the Chrysler Chrysler instrument gauge, where it just kind of had everything laid out like that in front of you. But yeah, the DeSotos were good. I think they lasted 2 more years after this. Oh, good lord! Sat in the garage for years. Old man died. Wife wanted to sell estate. Oh dear God. Oh, what? Yours has the 2-speed power flight? Holy crap! I haven't seen one of those in years. That's amazing. That's a rare car. 2-speed power flight. Holy crap! Because usually they had the torque flights in them. This one even has the 3-speed torque flight. Look at this though. Everything in this car was just done nice. It has helper springs in the back. It's a solid car. And it didn't sell because it's a 60 DeSoto. Here's the inside of the steering wheel. Wow. Wait, it has two barrel on it. Here's the air cleaner. It's 2-barrel to air cleaner. Look at that though. This is a really sharp car. And you don't see a lot of DeSotos. You just don't. They're so hard to restore and so hard to keep on the road. Wow. Jeez. Yeah. Those would have knew it, yeah. Oh, send pictures to DJ's Classic Garage. DJ's Classic Garage at gmail.com. Because I'm curious. Oh yeah. Look at this. Look at that. Everything about this car is just insane. Everything about this car is crazy. So yeah. Yeah, yours is a bare bones. This is actually pretty well appointed. It's actually not a bad looking car. It's a shame it just didn't sell. It's like nobody wants, the thing is, there's nothing really, it doesn't seem like anything's wrong with this car. It's just that nobody wants, an early 60s, late 50s Chrysler because they're hard to find parts for and hard to keep running, as I have now found out in person. Let me see. Let's see if Tony can send stuff via email. Let's see. Do. I haven't seen it yet. I can play music. I guess we'll share it next week when Fluno comes back, because Fluno would flip over this car. Fluno would absolutely flip over this car. This is the type of car he loves. Jesus. Yeah, so this is what those DeSoto Adventurers looked like. And but this is kind of in the same vein as that 61 GM working on, which is hell. And I can't wait. Oh, wow. Look at this. See, Rooney. YouTube told him he did a terrific job hyping my video. Look at that. See, there you go. Rooney is setting the stage there of what everyone should be doing. Oh, sent. Cool. All right. We're going to have we have something like breaking right here, man. We got stuff breaking right here. We're going to have, holy crap. Oh my God. Wow. All right. I'm going to open this open in a new tab. So you're not attached to it. Nobody knows who you are because I'm cool like that. And yeah, we're going to put you over here and we're going to do this and we're going to do this. See, we're going to see how the paste. We're seeing how the sausage is made. Okay. All right. Let's see how we do this. Okay. Do. We'll put you over here. All right, like that. We're gonna share. All right, this is what Tony Imperial has picked up. Look at this thing. Just look at this thing. That is phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. This is, look at this thing. It's black with the nice red interior. It has the wacky reverse wipers that go like this because Chrysler. Damn, that is a nice looking car. Dennis, would you want us to send interesting classic car articles or vids that we come across? Yes. Here and there, I think Dennis might be interested to hear about this, but you probably see most of them. No, I may miss things. I'm honest to God. I mean, I do look for stuff, but sure. And it's DJ's Classic Garage at gmail.com. It's on the YouTube page. Just send stuff in. I check I check the email daily, because outside of nice people like you sending cool stuff to me, I have companies trying to make me promote things for them, like OBD2 readers, and I'm like, do you understand what my channel really does? I guess not. Okay. I mean, I did one, but it was for my Ford truck, and I'm like, okay, it's a Ford truck. Okay. Yeah, no. But yeah, no, I'm all tritone interior. That's tritone. Oh yeah, it's black. Oh my God. See, this is when cars were incredible. Oh my God. No. A Dodge Aspen with a matching Dodge A108 car hauler. Oh my God. That's too much. It's too much. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Let me see. Let's see if the Imperials are coming through. No, they have not come through yet. But this is the type of stuff I love. I love especially 4-doors from way back when. Oh, yeah, it's right. Duh, it's right behind it. Wait a minute. That is that way. I was like totally the black. Yeah. Look at that. Wait, I was zoomed in on it. Look at this. That's the Petty Kei Car. Holy crap. Wow. That's insane. I mean, I love this car, but that's insane. Holy crap. Look at this. Man, oh man. There's so much chrome on this car to polish. But this is crazy. That is absolutely nuts. That car literally has that car. Oh my God. Wow. This is at a weekly car cruise? Somebody rolled up in this thing in a weekly car cruise. Are you serious? That's impressive. That is impressive. Is that a Cadillac in the background? That beige car, is that a Caddy? Because it looks large and in charge, and I don't know why the top's not down. It looks nice out that day. Oh, the Imperials are sent. Hey, everybody, we're gonna see the Imperials. We're gonna see the Imperials because I am a car freak and I love Imperials. Oh my God. Let's see. Let's see. We're gonna open. No. Okay. Open in new tab. No. I just want to open you. Open in new tab. Open. No, link. I don't want link. No. Okay. I hate you. I hate you. I gotta do this. Hold on. Do. I can play music if I should. Do. All right. So here come the Imperials. Because why not? Everybody loves an Imperial. I do. So let's see. Desktop. I put them here. Here we go. We'll show the first one here. All right. That is a 74 Imperial, right? That car is damn. That car is big. My God, that thing's big. Hidden headlights and everything. That's the one with the 440 in it. That's crazy. Or is it 71? Wow. That is crazy. Oh my God. I love that it's black too. You have a thing for black? You have a thing for black cars? Because I'm just, even though I have this one here, look at this thing. This is the 71. That was a 74. This is a 71 Imperial. God. My God, that is insane. I love every part of this car. That thing is enormous. Man, you must have some serious storage. These things are 20-something feet long. I love every bit of that. You have nothing but 75 Crown Coupe. It was the last. Wasn't that the last one? I think this is like the last one. But look at that, man. That's a car you just go down the highway and just cruise because this is comfortable. It is amazing. It is. These are amazing. Tony, these cars are amazing. This thing, I love this thing. I love the vinyl top, the brown vinyl top over the white body. What was that? Like, is it a white interior or tan? It's just nice looking. The little fender skirts. They didn't put big ones on there. Imperial, just says Imperial on it. It's just everything about that's awesome. This is really great. This is good stuff. This is what I live. This is what I live for. I get absolutely so excited when I see cars like this at a show, because I really do. I love people that bring out big cars. You know what? I'm a very bad Italian. I've never seen Casino. I know. I need to watch it. Yes, I know. That car is beautiful. So yeah, Barracuda. Chrome electroplating is. I know in Florida it's friggin' impossible. There's one electroplater in Melbourne that you would use. The rest of them, there's a couple others that are garbage. And you wait like a year, but you pay a king's salary, king's ransom to actually get this stuff done, because it is brutal at this point. Wow, it is white leather. Oh my God. So yeah, it's not pleasant. I see that 20 Cent said they first chrome processing facility. Yeah, they've been closing them. The EPA's just been horrific on them. So it's not good. Man, I love that white leather. That car just looks, oh my God. I just want to cruise in this thing. Wow. Damn. Oh wait. This was the car in Casino? We have a celebrity car here, everybody. This car was used in Casino. Holy mackerel. Now I need to see this. Holy crap. Wow. Leather Teak Restoration Page by Terry Pinkington. Wow. I didn't know there was such a thing. Damn, I probably could have used that on the BMW. Oh, damn. Wow. Thank you, Tony. That was beautiful. And yeah, anything. Yep. My email address is I'll throw it up on the screen. Hold on. I'll throw it up on the screen. Let's see if I can only type. I still like Hunt and Peck, even though I took typing classes. I still suck. All right, so here is let's see, and show. Okay, so that is my email address. That's my email address that comes right to me. I look at that every day. So if you have anything you want to send to me, a car story, any type of stuff, just email it to me. I'll talk about it. If you want me to talk about a car you saw, or talk about your car or whatever, hey, sure, why not? This is for everybody out there. It's not for me. It's for you guys. I'm here. I'm the dancing monkey. So that's excellent. I love it. I love this car. I absolutely adore this Imperial. I love the 75. I like too. I always liked that shape. It's such a shame it came out at such a bad time. Yeah, but still, wow. So yeah, you bought it from the guy that leased the cars to the movie studio. Dear God. Oh wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not Horatius. I'm not bothered. But thanks for asking, though. Hey, thanks for asking first. I'm not bothered by it. I accept. It's just like with the comments. I just accept them. It's like it's fine. Because I understand. Most 99% of the time it's from a good place, and so I don't have a problem with it. That's fine. But cool. Thank you. Yeah, an original California car. So that thing is as perfect as humanly possible. Jesus, that is amazing. So yeah, and yeah, I guess I on this incredible bombshell that we have here. Because honestly, this is a movie car. It is a beautiful car. It's Tony's car, And my God, that is a masterpiece. I hope I hope you're going to Mo Party, dude. You're in Ohio. I mean, how far is Bowling Green? I mean, seriously, what is it, like 4 hours? I mean, seriously. I hope you're going to Mo Party. Bring this giant luxury yacht to Mo Party, please. Because I already got my tickets. I'm drag racing. I'm drag racing at Mo Party. So, yeah. Look at this. What did you do? So I use a Garmin steamer or long hose, works well with leather, teaks, collagen. Oh, so that's what helps make the seats soft again. Interesting. That's interesting. I need to work with that then. Actually, I like leather. What's it? Leather honey. It actually brought back the steering wheel on the E36 convertible that was neglected. But yeah. Lexol's pretty good for cleaning, but this leather honey is really good on leather. Makes it soft. Makes your hands soft too. It's nice. No, Bowling Green, Kentucky. That's where Mo Party is. The headquarters of Holly. In September, they're having a little show with 2,000 cars, called Mo Party, and I'm going to be there. So, and then I'm going to be at the Motor City Mopar show, the week after. I'm going to be in the very important Mopar section because it's indoors. I paid the extra money not to be out in the sun. I'm okay with that. So even though I like being in the sun, it's okay. So, yeah, stainless is so friggin' expensive. There actually isn't a cheaper thing because stainless is just psychotic right now. So psychotic. So, all right, with Tony's bombshell and just incredible car. We're gonna call an end to another live. We'll be back next week with the Fluno talking about his adventures on the train. I guess. But we'll see what happens in the next week or so. Maybe I'll have more updates on that infuriating 300. I know I will because we'll work on it tomorrow, and I had to build brake lines. I can't wait because the brake lines are garbage. I actually bought a double flaring kit. I borrowed other ones, but I actually bought one now. I have a double flaring kit because I think I'm about to make lines, and I can't wait. So thanks a lot for everybody out there. Hey, throw a like. If subscribe, if you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't, thanks for watching. I mean, cool. You always give me always could throw a quarter in a tip jar, and I would appreciate the hell out of it, because you notice I have to do a lot of cleaning in my garage, and that costs money. So, all right. So with that though, thank you everybody. And remember, if you have a cool car like this, and I'm going to leave it at that, take it out, because you're going to make someone's day. And it will probably be your own, and I will. And he's sending more pictures, and I can't wait. And I will catch you really, really soon. And everybody, I'll catch you soon, and everybody have a good one, man. If you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.